morning everyone, how are you doing? This is Amanda. I do hope that you're well. Today is March the 3rd, 2023, and I thought what we would do is a general reading for the month ahead. So we'll get to that in a moment. Before we do that, a thank you for all of your support and love as always. I also just thought I would maybe go over some of the subjects that I'd like to do videos on soon. Let me just grab my pad of paper and some of the signs I've had of various beings around me, members of the Heart Squad that want to come through. To be honest, I don't have enough time in the day at the moment, has to be said, but this is what I'm sort of working on bringing through within the next couple of months. I'm just going to say couple of months, so you're not expecting it tomorrow. So on my list of things to do, I'd like to do the second Lilith video, and yeah, that's a really good one that I want to do. I have been asked by one of you to read on the Murdoch, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, trial in America. I've held off from doing so, and I think I'm going to hold off from doing so until actually the verdict comes in, because I'm not really interested in doing a reading on did he do it, didn't he do it. I mean, I have my own perspective that I think he did, but it's not really about that. It might be quite interesting to look at that family and look at the dynamics within it and pull out some pithy aspects of learning for all of us, because it's a bit like when I was looking at, or some of the videos I've done on the royal family, you can pull out aspects that are happening which might be reflecting in your own family to a lesser extent maybe, but still might be there. Whether that be, I don't know, adultery or greed or anything else. But certainly that family in US, wow, it is just like a toxic mess, isn't it? And of course, yes, 2 people have sadly lost their lives. But yeah, I might come back to that. I'm still mulling it over. Also an email that came in from one of you, thank you Megan, in particular, talking about, do particular places and pieces of land have energies which need clearance? I mean, you probably said it in a better way than that, but ultimately that's what you're saying. And of course, yes, is the question. You're talking about the Idaho area. Also, there are other places around the globe. I don't just want to focus on America, but maybe you could drop some comments below where we could shine a spotlight onto them more to see what is the energy that they're holding. And in particular, places that need a clean up. So without wanting, and also I don't want this to get all political, but one of the other areas that I have on my radar is Little Rock in USA. I know you might know that I've done the video on Palestine and the cleanup that's needed there because of the chemical spill. But I believe there was also another explosion in a chemical factory or chemical plant. And from what I understand, there was a group of employees on a plane that flew from Little Rock who all died, basically. This was in the last couple of weeks, who were going to investigate that particular explosion. Now, we could do a video on that as well, but actually it's more about what piqued my interest was the mention of Little Rock again. It feels infamous for all sorts of reasons. So what is that land holding? Let's forget about people for a moment. I don't mean the people that died. I'm just saying, let's not make it about personalities. Let's go back to the land and what has the land maybe absorbed in particular places? How can we help to clear these spots upon the earth, stains upon the earth, I'm hearing, which want to become abundant and beautiful again. They're holding trauma, or Metatron's saying it's as though they can be, excuse the pun, launch pads for a form of darkness to maybe grow in our world. But yeah, give me some other examples from around the world. But I'm not going to get into personalities or anything like that linked to it. So Idaho, we all know why we're looking at Idaho, the Brian Koberger case, but I'm wanting to look at the land. So that, I think that could be a really interesting video. What else have I got on my list? There are a few that I haven't done that I said I was going to do months and months ago. I never forget what I've said I'm going to do, by the way. It's just that sometimes things come in and then I lose my enthusiasm, or the energy's just not there anymore. I'm just being honest. But one that keeps coming back is the video I promised on rhesus negative blood. I'm rhesus negative myself, so I've got like a vested interest in that one. Quite like to look at that. I'm seeing a lot of signs from this guy. Some of you will know what this refers to. If I see any more single black gloves just everywhere, I'm going to scream. I know he wants to come through again. Michael Jackson is the reference there. Lots of you asking for Alan Rickman in February. February's gone, but you know, time isn't linear at the end of the day. Could do Alan again. Bob Marley, and to my left, you can't see it, but I've actually got a little altar set up for the second JFK Jr. video, and I want to bring through some more straight channeling on that, because I had to introduce the whole subject in the first one, and it's going to be much more about tell me about Camelot, tell me about what Camelot stands for, tell me a little bit about Avalon, and getting into that whole sort of mythical time energy. Those of you that don't follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you will have missed that I'm also picking up energies linking into the twin flame energy with regards to JFK Jr. and Carolyn, but he's then also led me to Linda McCartney, Paul McCartney. Linda McCartney is somebody that I think would be fascinating to channel. I know there's International Women's Day coming up quite soon, isn't it, on the 7th? I don't know whether I'll have time to do it by then. I'm not promising it, but it'd be good to do some sort of powerful woman around then. And yeah, other stuff. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other stuff is, but I know there's other stuff. Right, let's get to March then. Let's get to March's video. See what wants to come through. Oh, by the way, thank you very much to Bracca Goldsmith, who sent me a copy of her Palladian Oracle deck. Shall we start with one of those? Let's just do that. So thank you very much, Bracca, for the deck. Nice little note in with it from Bracca and the Peas. She channels the Palladian energy, of course. So these cards are all examples of her artwork. She's quite a prolific artist, isn't she? And all beautiful colours. You know I'm into all of the colours, so they're all rather lovely, and they've all got a message with them as well. I assume she's also using them on her channel. But thank you very much, Bracca. Very lovely. Thank you. I appreciate the gift. Let's pull 3 to start with, shall we, for March, and then just add to it. How am I feeling generally about this month coming in? I feel as though I was quite glad to get February done, it has to be said. Not that anything terrible happened, but it just felt as though it was a little bit heavy, certainly towards the latter part of the month. And March has come in with a fresh new energy. So I'm feeling relatively optimistic, and let's hope it continues, hey? Let's make it a good month. Okay, 3 cards then from Bracca's deck for March and the month ahead. Okay, 2 have come out together. And 1 more, please. Okay. So the third card that came out is this one, which says Celebrate the Earth, which I think is a bit of a nod to what I was just saying about the work that I feel we need to do to clean up the accident spots in our world and the trauma spots in our world. And I know many of you already do this work, but I think if we can combine our forces in a single video, which acts as a portal and a clarion call, that's really going to help. So celebrate the earth, because when you are healing the earth or trying to, it's very important, a bit like when you're healing your own self, it's important to keep in mind the healthy, well version of yourself post-recovery, rather than identify too strongly with just the unease or disease within the body, so that you become that even more than you already are. So it's a difficult one, because at the moment we're seeing so much devastation, to be honest, across the planet with regards to the abuse of Mother Earth. And I do believe we all have to take better care of her, to leave her in a better state for the next generation to come. That's the task, or should be the task, of every generation. And we can become very despondent and jaded, and focusing on everything that's wrong, everything that's harming her. But in a way, we then are helping to manifest even more of that. So needing to remember that this is a beautiful earth, to celebrate her ability to be able to regenerate and rebirth every year. You know, it's March here in the UK. We've got the little daffodils trying to come through. The crocuses are coming through. Bird song appearing. You can really feel that spring is about to birth itself in another probably month or so. Not out of winter yet, but you know, celebrating what Mother Nature does, what the earth does. So let's see what two cards came out together. Right, so the first one, I'm really all for this at the moment. It says simplicity is the secret. And it comes with tune into the rhythmic pulse of life. I think that's a very powerful message, because the rhythm of life, the heartbeat of the earth, is steady and strong and sure. The pulse of God, universal light, whatever you want to call it, is strong and steady and sure. Constant. It isn't always going into drama and being distracted from that very beautiful rhythm. Day in, day out, the sun sets, the moon rises in the sky, etc. The waves come in, the waves go out. Even when there is disruption, nature has this way of always being able to find a harmony again, to bring itself back into balance. But yet as human beings living upon her, we find that really difficult to do. So we need to take the lead from Mother Nature here, and to come back to simplicity, letting go of that which is not required, focusing on what is actually truly important, I feel so strongly at the moment, the desire to just focus on our own journey, We're living in this 24/7 society that's wanting to pull us down, distract us, zap up or any energy that we've got, whether it be via technology or anything else. And of course media, which is trying to pull us into this story, hook us into this story. I think so many of us have got really wise, particularly in the last couple of months, to how they do that. And even if we think we know that and we've always known that, I think we're now starting to see the stories that come in and they're put in our front of our face and they try and hook you in. And then you realise you're obsessing about that to the expense of other things, the expense of yourself. Come back to yourself, simplify it all. So those are the messages that I get with those three cards. I think I'll pull a fourth, because today works out as a 4 numerological day. 3/3/2023 adds to 13. 1 and 3 make 4. So let's have a fourth card. What is the fourth wheel, basically, that we need in March? What is the fourth wheel that we need in March to keep us feeling steady, please? What is the fourth wheel? Take a quantum leap. Interesting. Take a quantum leap. Because what I'm being shown is, put it this way, You take a leap into the unknown when you have a degree of certainty that you're going to land back on your feet or back on the four wheels, okay? You're not going to fall flat on your face. It feels as though there is this, I'm picking up a very Taurian energy, and I don't know if there's anything going on with Taurus at the moment in March. Is March the energy of Taurus? Sorry, I'm not an astrologer. Let me just, you can go to Braca for that, but let me just have a look. When does Taurus season kick in? I'm suddenly feeling very strong Taurus energy. I should know this because my daughter's a Taurus, and I think I'm too early because she's in May. Taurus dates are April the 20th to May the 20th. No, so I'm a month early. But hey, you know, I don't tend to operate on linear time. I started this video by saying I thought it was May the 3rd, and then redid it. And actually, if you look at May the 3rd, I think Pluto has just gone retrograde on 2 days previously. So I already feel like I'm there. I already feel like I'm delving into or going back to have a re-look at the shadow within myself, within the collective, etc. I don't know, I'm picking up a very strong bullish energy, grounded energy, because this card about take a quantum leap, you know, normally that would be like, oh my God, just take a leap off the cliff, and symbolically, and like, where the hell are you going to land, and have trust and have faith. But I'm not really feeling that. I'm feeling this is basically saying, no, take a leap because you know it's going to be okay. You know it's going to be okay. You know that you've got 2 feet, you're going to land on them, etc. So the security within this quantum leap, I feel, there's great security. You know, the colour red, the colour of security, base chakra, the security in this leap. Let's have a little bit more of a look at this quantum leap for March. Let's go to some other cards as well, just to weave different energies in. Let's go to this deck, which I had out to use. Wisdom of the House of Night by PC Cast and Colette Baron Reed. Slow down, Amanda. Right. I'm being shown this quantum leap now. I'm being shown a long jumper. You know, a long jumper, when they run up and they run up, and then they somehow they manage to usually land on their feet, don't they? That's sort of what I'm getting that we're doing this month. That we can propel ourselves further than we think is possible. We can propel our body further than we think is possible. And I've got a bit of a wry smile here because end of the month, I'm going to Switzerland. First time I've been to Switzerland for decades, actually. And where we're going to be, I've got a view of the Eiger, the mountain, outside my bedroom window. And I just know there's going to be all sorts of magic happening. And of course, you know, the desire to climb the mountain. And I went into total panic last night. I know I'm deviating a bit, but I think this is relevant. I went to total panic last night. I thought, my God, you've got 20 odd days to get ready, lose a bit of weight, get fit, to do all this. And I thought, no, I'm just gonna, you know, what's that expression about, let the mountain come to me? Somehow I'm gonna be crawling up there. I have got 2 feet, I will make it. Maybe not all the way to the top, but some of it. There's definitely a light-hearted energy to this quantum leap. It's going to be easier than we think it's going to be. I've seen the long jump though. It's like what feels impossible and that you can't do. How can a human being who's 5'10" or whatever, or 6 foot, even if they're tall, how can they get from there to there just by jumping in the air? But somehow they do. So it's also about power of the mind, isn't it? Right, quantum leap. What else is there to say? Let's focus on this quantum leap. What does these cards have to say? So March's energy for the people watching. March's energy for the people watching. Conclusion. Something has ended for something new to begin. Pretty clear, isn't it? Something has ended for something new to begin. It's a bit like when you do read a book and maybe it's been a really good book, you've really enjoyed it, you've got to the end of the page and you're like, oh, what a shame that's over. Or it's an author that you've read all of their books. It's like, oh, I haven't got anything else to read now of that particular author. Well, it's about finding a new author. It's about finding a new book. It's about writing a new script. This feels very final, but very grounded. It feels very safe. I've read so many times, and many of you will have seen many of my videos where we talk about endings and beginnings. And often the energy has felt really quite shaky and vulnerable and a bit fearful and frightening and all the rest of it. But this feels as though I'm not picking any of that up with this. It just feels it's ended. Something else is about to begin. You're going to take a leap. We are going to take a leap as a collective. It's going to be okay. You're going to land back on your 2 feet. Tell me more about the energy of conclusion, please. I'm going to go to the Metatron deck because I'm feeling an energy of karma completing as well. Some karmic cycles completing. Tell me about conclusion, please, Metatron, for March, for the people watching. What is concluding? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, those of you who've been with me since November, we did that work about raising our Kundalini energy. On 11/11, we had the mantra, I rise. Well, it feels as though we have risen our energy to the degree that is needed to complete the quantum leap. I rise, I rise, I rise. The energy has been building within ourselves, like the runner, like the high jumper, who has to get themselves into a state of readiness, to psych themselves up to do it. Go back to what I was just saying about me being in Switzerland and the blinking mountain and oh my God, I haven't lost the weight and I haven't done this and I haven't done that. Doesn't matter. I am actually ready. It's my shadow side that's thinking you've got to be a certain way. You've got to be a certain way to approach this. You've got what you need is what I'm saying. Okay, you've got what you need. Now, I'm saying this knowing that the awakening process at the moment is creating big energy slumps and big energy highs. 2 days ago, I sat at this desk and I was just like this for the whole day. I couldn't do any work. I was tired. I should have just gone to sleep. In fact, I did sleep for 10 hours that night. Woke up feeling much better. But I'm very aware that, there are some days where it's like, really? Have I really risen to the degree that I need to make this jump? Because I just feel shit. But the thing is, we're in time frames now where things are changing very, very quickly. And actually, without naming or shaming anybody, because I put a little video up on Facebook on the day that I felt so flat and tired, and I basically said I feel very flat, I feel very tired. This is also a time where we need to be resting and receiving. That's where I am today. And then the next day I posted a new video or something and somebody said, hold on a minute, I thought you were resting and receiving. And I said, yeah, I did. I had 10 hours sleep. I feel great now. Because what I wanted to say was we can shift our energetic states quickly. So don't get too despondent if you're in that slump. And it's like, today I just feel like, if I stagger downstairs and get a pot noodle, not that I eat pot noodles, that'll be an achievement. The next day, you might be full and fizzing and ready to go. It's like the runner who runs the race. It's like the long jumper. You're preparing for a particular moment, and it's the moment that matters. The moment is the moment where you're about to take the quantum leap, and in that moment, you have the energy that you need. You've concluded the build-up. You've done the training. However that looked. Even if you feel as though you haven't necessarily been in training, what the hell is training anyway? Life is one big training journey. Okay, it's about the thing about Kundalini energy as well, you can do various techniques and, you know, to help with that, whether it's yogic techniques or meditation or visualization or working with all sorts of different things. But ultimately, the way that really you raise the frequency in the body and you tap into, whether it's Kundalini or any other helpful energy that you have, is via who you are and how you react to people, how you react to situations. It's the day in, day out, breathing and living, and how I'm responding to that particular situation. And have I been able to respond from a place of love? Have I been able to respond from a place of forgiveness? Have I been gentle, including to myself? Okay. It all adds up. Every single second, every single minute, every single hour of every day. It's as though there is this universal energy watching, as well as your own higher self energy, just observing how you're doing. And I think I'm being given the assurance that many of us, I can't say for everybody, but for many of us, we've done the work between November and February, and we're now entering March, and March, there's going to be a lift-off. There's going to be a lift-off. So quite exciting. And I also can see that many people have been doing the work, because the conclusion is, I rise, I have risen, I've done the work, I've gone within, I'm concluding that chapter, and now I've got this energy which I can now use for action. March feels like a month of action. Positive action. Look at her face. She looks pretty happy to me. She looks pretty content. She looks glad to be out there. Okay. Let's carry on. March's energy. March's energy for the people watching. I'm laughing because it's so dualistic energy. On one hand, we've got the energy of, this feels very, I think I'm right in saying, I watched Steve Judd's video, I think Steve said Saturn is going into Pisces. This feels very Saturn going into Pisces energy to me. Saturn, the hard taskmaster. You will obey, you will work, you will do as I say. You will create structure, you will learn, you will be taught, you will sit. But there's this energy, this Piscean energy of I just want to float and swim and play and be like the dolphins, you know, I just want to blow bubbles. And it's like, so I'm not quite sure how this is all going to play out. But there feels as though there's a bit of a push-pull with the energy of work and play. But also it's linked into this thing about obedience. Let me just check into that. Obedience and play. Let me have one more card. Obedience and play. Because there's a few different ways I could go with this. Just want to see what the cards want to say. Obedience and play. March for the people that are watching. What are we trying to say? Obedience and play. Yeah. Okay. There's an energy of other people's demands upon you, that you have to do this. You have to look a certain way. You need to do it now. And then when you've done that, you need to do it again. You need to do more. Demands, demands, demands upon your time. You will obey. Okay? This could also be collective, like a clamping down on the collective. But I also think it's just individual. It's people in your life. It's the energy of givers and takers. If you're a giver like me, there's going to be a lot of takers who are just like, well, why can't you do that for me? And then when you've done that for me, can you do that as well? Oh, can you pick up on the way back as well? All this type of stuff, okay? But there's this spirit within you, which is just like, nah, don't want to play by that old game anymore. I want to be more free-spirited. We've got the cards of individuality and confidence. Individuality and confidence. I like the fact that this card here, she's standing beside a horse. It is a horse. I mean, I know it's a horse. I'm just saying it is a horse because I've been writing about the unicorns all week. We've got some new unicorn sprays coming out in the next week or couple of weeks. Hopefully not too much longer. We're just waiting for one more bottle. It's going to be 3 of them. So I've been writing the words to 2 of these unicorns. And the thing about them is I've got a very Saturnian energy. Okay, I've got Saturn on the midheaven. It's been a great teacher, the Saturn energy for me. But there's part of me now, she's just like, come on, I've had enough of this. I just want to go and play now. I want to have some fun. I want to go and run up that mountain. I want to eat the fondue with it dripping down my chin, all of that, you know. But it's the unicorn energy that really sort of gives permission to not be so adult the whole time. You know, this obedience, it's very adult. I talked about adulting in the unicorn channeled words that are going to be coming soon. I was really feeling that, the energy of adulting versus being the free child. And we all have got that free-spirited child energy within us that just wants to play, that wants to find. Again, it's like being the youngster again, finding out who you are. Who are you? I mean, I've got teenagers in the house, so it's such an interesting age because just coming out of their shell, trying to work out who they are, what they want to do, all of it, you know, how they want to express themselves. But the thing is, it doesn't stop just at age 19 or 20 or younger. We all have opportunities in our life to be inquisitive in terms of who the hell am I actually? And how am I ever going to find out who I am if I'm just, you know, everybody else's whipping boy, basically? Errand master is what I'm hearing. If I'm just everyone else's errand master. What about me, basically? What about me? So there's an energy coming in here of confidence to be me, to be the individual, beautiful version of yourself that you are. Who are you? So you're being asked to look into that mirror and see that and take a ride really into this more mythical land, this more mythical time, this other timeline, you know, the horse, the unicorn energy, wanting to help you learn more about yourself, and much more less of this, you know, much more less of this. Yeah. Anything else to say before I move on here? Just feel there's one other message with regards to this obedience. Obedience. It's not coming out there. Let's go to Metatron. Metatron deck. The obedience card, okay, it came straight out. Oh yeah, perfect. The card of the heart. So this is, what is my heart telling me in March that I want to do? What do I really want to do? And what is actually feeling like it's just a sense of total obligation. I've said I'm going to do it, so I'm going to have to do it. But do I want to do it? You know, these are the questions that are going to be going through your mind this month. Follow your heart. Follow the joy. What's your heart? When you tune in to something and you think, I really want to do that, it's coming from this place within your heart. It makes you feel alive, whether it's linked into travel, whether it's about seeing somebody, whether it's about doing something, whatever that is. And some of these things might be things you haven't done for a while, pastimes, hobbies, things that you put down. They can even be memories. It doesn't always have to be about you've got to do it. It might just be remembering things that make you happy. Really a strange example, but I was watching some sort of antiques program yesterday, and they had the Hornby train set, and it was all set up, and there were these it might have been Michael Portillo actually. I like Michael Portillo. I like his shows where he goes around the UK. And he visits all the place. Really like his show. And I'm sure when I get older, my kids are going to be, God, she was always watching Michael Portillo shows. But anyway, the point is, I think yesterday they showed this model railway. And it took me back to a memory of my childhood. We used to live in a lovely house, and it had a big loft space. It was all, a beautiful big loft space. And my dad and brother were into Hornby Railway, and they had it all set up with all of the little people and the trees and the moss and the signals, and it had sounds. And I don't know whatever happened to it. I think it just got sold. But the memory of it just brought such a smile to my face. Not that I'm about to do it myself, but you get my gist. What gives your heart a smile, okay? What gives your heart a smile? I don't know, because this doesn't, just keeping on saying, yes, yes, I'll do it, yes, I'll do it. I guess into that, the colour green is also about boundaries. Boundaries is it's okay to say no to what sometimes you don't want to do, you don't have to do. We all have a sense of duty and responsibility. I'm not saying become some irresponsible idiot that just walks away from the person who genuinely needs you to care for them, look after them. But somehow carving out some time in March is important. Okay, right, let's now go to a spray, I think. And I've got the Archangel Michael spray out, so I pulled this colour for us for March. Rather lovely. Let's see what energy Archangel Michael wants to bring through this March. To stand in your light, to stand proud. I'm getting this energy of just to stand proud, it's this energy of rising up, to not be so hunched and so hiding in the bushel, your talent, your skill, who you are, being proud to show up and show your face. There's a card in this deck that I saw before I started, which is the energy of the warrior, and I'll just get it out because I think it's appropriate for this time. Where's it gone? Did I already pull it? No, hold on, I'll just pause the camera. Yeah, this card. I saw this card earlier and it was really calling me, the energy of the warrior. And I don't know whether it's showing on the camera, but it reminds me a little bit of an old painting that's been what do they call it? When they clean them. And they have to be very careful not to wipe away the paint or any of the details. Restoration, that's it, restoration, restoring an old painting. But it reminds me, it's got like a watermark there, almost as though some of the paint's been wiped away. It's just an arty-farty sort of expression, I guess, of whatever. But it reminds me of looking into a mirror. And when you look into a mirror that's slightly dirty or covered in dust, you have to wipe it until you can actually see what's really there, i.e. you. So there's an energy here of you being able to truly see yourself more as the warrior, and this isn't from a place of need or fear. It's from a very sovereign place. It's from a place of feeling very sure about who you are. So I definitely feel as though this March is bringing in some energy of assurance, steadiness. And that doesn't mean that there might not be challenging things that happen in the collective and in our individual lives, but there's just this bedrock of growing sense of self, security, and it's really lovely to feel into this energy. I wonder also whether it's linked into the increasing rise of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, coming a little bit more into balance with each other within ourselves and individually. I was watching the news this morning actually, and I nearly turned it off. I was just having breakfast, wasn't really listening to it. But it was story after story of sort of examples of toxic masculinity. Men who've, killed their wives or partners or done something awful. And I was about to switch it off because I just thought, I just don't want to see any other mugshot of some horrible bloke who's done something horrible to a woman. I was about to switch it off. And then it flashed into, I think it's 500 Words Day today in the UK. It's World Book Day, where you champion writing and reading. And they went to a headmaster, a male headmaster, and he was sat with his kids. And this guy just had a face like an angel. He was exuding such goodness, such goodness. He looked like such a good man. and such genuine love for his subject, i.e. teaching English and reading and writing, and these little kids were all around him. It was such a beautiful antidote really to all of these other examples of toxic masculinity that had just been on the news. And it made me think, actually there are so many decent men out there, and we need to be singing their praises more as well. But I also feel as though, we're being fed, again, it's interesting what we're being fed by the media. We're just being fed more and more examples of this toxic masculinity. But yet, what about the really good men out there? So I feel as though there's going to be more of a rise of the good men. They're going to become more visible. They're going to become more prominent. And indeed, they might be in your home anyway. They might be in your family. A good partner, a good husband, a good father, etc., a good brother. It's time to celebrate that. But equally, the aspect of ourself, the masculine within ourself that is good and true and honourable. A lot of the work that I want to do with JFK Jr. next, in the next channeling, is I know he wants to talk about these codes of chivalry and honour. And it's very easy to knock him and think, well, hold on a minute, you were like this in your life and you did this. That's just you and us wanting to project and point the finger because we're not wanting to do the inner work. Remember, souls in spirit are still working on themselves in the same way that we're still working on ourselves here on earth. It never stops. It's always a process of continual evolvement and enlightenment. So when you have like a divine masculine figure such as John coming in wanting to teach us, let's grasp that with both hands and say thank you. Because by him trying to better himself, he's also helping us to better ourselves. Okay, so yeah, the energy of the warrior. Let's just pull a card that goes with the warrior. See what we get. What goes with the energy of the warrior for March, for the people watching me, please. We have Grove. Grove. I'm going to look up the meaning of that card. I mean, I know what a grove is, but I'm just interested why we have it here and what I'm missing. Secret grove, a secret place, a hidden place, a place of refuge that we can go to reclaim our inner masculine, maybe, the true masculine. It says, this deck, by the way, is based on Nyx, the goddess of the night. So it says, I, Nyx, the goddess of night, invite you to my grove to heal your wounds and mend your heart. Now is the time to apologize to anyone you have harmed. Make your friendships whole again and choose healing over anger. Choosing my beautiful grove is a powerful sign that you are at a wondrous and strong period in your life. Show compassion and kindness to others. No one is perfect, yet imperfection is perfect as it is. If you are hurting, know that it will pass and that I will watch over you. It's interesting that we had the card of the heart earlier, and this is about healing the heart, going into a refuge, a sacred place. This might be a physical place. It might be somewhere where you can visit this March that actually soothes your heart, soothes your soul. Or it could just be a place in meditation or dream time that you're taken to. But again, the wounds that our heart is carrying, because if we go back to this earlier card about you will obey, you will do this, you will, it's usually coming from a place of pain. It's coming from a place of unhealed trauma. It's coming from an old pattern, an old archetype that you might be carrying within you, that maybe, life isn't meant to be fun, life isn't meant to be good. It's just about work. You work till you die, all of that type of thing. You can't play. This is all coming up to be healed this month. A much lighter spirit is wanting to come in, but it just feels so beautiful that we've got the unicorns coming in. I am going to use one of them, I think, here. And at this point, this isn't yet ready to go in the shop, but if you come back in a week's time, it should be. This is the healing unicorn, and it says rest and receive. So let's just bring this energy in, the pink and the yellow. Rest and receive, thinking about your energy of your heart. Giving yourself permission just to stop for a moment to receive the help, the high vibrational light, the unicorn's energy, which just, it really feels like it, I don't know what you're sensing, but I just feel it really fills me. And it comes in and it fills me in spaces that I didn't even realize were empty. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's coming into places that I didn't even realize were empty. Places where maybe I haven't been able to feel joy or carry the energy of laughter or play. Coming in and filling that, receiving that energy in. So let them do that to you now. The places, the empty pockets within yourself which feel barren for whatever reason. I'm also hearing the words dry socket, and that comes to the eyes, doesn't it? Where we haven't been able to maybe see beauty or see joy or give ourselves permission just to have this lighter vibrational energy that guides us and leads us into what I call a playground. It's away from this very serious, business-like, professional area. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're always in that energy, it can become very 10 of wands. It can become very burdensome. It's a month to put down some of your burdens and play. So, yeah, I love the vibration of that unicorn. It's really lovely. They're really going to help us, I'm sure. Okay, right. Let's end with 3 other cards. And let's see what help is also wanting to come in, as well as the unicorn. I'm going to pull a card from the Angel and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. Let's see what we get here. I am feeling a lot of ancestral energy this month as well. That's coming through because, again, as you heal, your family line heals as well. So if you're carrying an energy of finding it hard to not be so intense and so serious all of the time, that's probably in your family line. So you're going to have your ancestors queuing up for a bit of what you've got. Passing it on, passing the baton of joy on. Okay, so March. Let's just see what energy wants to help us. Yeah, exactly. We've got the energy of she-wolf, and it says, unleash the wild within. It's this free-spirited energy that I'm really feeling, and maybe this is the quantum leap. Maybe this is what this is all about. Aided by many beings, including the unicorn energy, to help us leap into a more free-spirited time, to let go of the shackles, which are often self-imposed, that we can't do that, or we can't be like that, we can't say this, we can't do that. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. If it's coming from love, it's coming from your heart, how can it be wrong? And we have the card of enjoy growth and reap rewards as well. And I don't know who that's supposed to be, but to me it feels quite Garden of Eden-like. She's got the apple, she's got the tree. So together, 2 very feminine cards there. Unleash the wild within. And this one is linking into the moon that's coming through as well. Now, we've actually got a moon in Virgo, I believe. Yeah, full moon in Virgo on the 7th. So it's quite an interesting message to come in with Virgo, because I don't know. I don't know a lot of Virgos. I've got Venus in Virgo, and I do know it likes things a certain way. It likes things a certain way, and it likes things in order, and it likes things to look nice and all of that, and decorum and refinery. But this feels as though this is saying, no, come on, just loose. My battery died, but I'm quite glad it did, because it's given me a chance to have a look at what it says in the book about this card she-wolf. And there's actually quite an important aspect to it that I hadn't picked up that I now want to talk about. So I'll just read it first, and then we're going to expand on other people trying to bring us down. Okay, so it says, the she-wolf is a powerful shamanic soul who is half wolf and half woman. Ow! So that's just my sense of humour. She is the alpha female. That's so funny. Do you remember that T-shirt I've got which says alpha female? My daughter said to me last year, she said, Mum, she said, you can't wear that. It was like one of those cringe moments for teenage daughters where they look at their mother and they're like, oh my God, you're not going out in that, are you? And I was rebellious. I nearly threw it away because they were like, no, you can't wear that. I thought, no, I bloody well am going to wear it. So I've still got it. I'm going to get it out this summer. But anyway, here we go. She-wolf, half woman. She is the alpha female who is not afraid to stand out from the crowd, or in this case, the pack. She is wild, unfiltered, and unfettered. She encourages you not to be trapped by the limiting factors of weaker members of the pack, or those who are trying to hunt you down because you have gifts they don't like or understand. She represents the energy of the wilderness and the unknown and encourages you to be free and unchained and go beyond boundaries. We are at times, my friends, there's more than one of you, there's plenty of you. If you're at the place where, even if you're wobbling and even if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure I can, we're going to be taking a quantum leap this month. There's plenty of others out there who aren't even going to try, okay? And what they do is they try and bring you down. And how many times have we experienced that in our life? And I guess we just have to come back, for example, to, the energy of humbleness and humility and compassion and forgiveness. But it is difficult. It is difficult when people constantly try to bring you down. And this is actually hunting you down because you have gifts that they don't like or understand. We're in such split energetic times now. The ones of us that are doing the work, who are trying our best, we're not perfect, we're flawed like everybody else, but we're trying our best to raise our energy up, to be the best version of ourselves that we can, slipping up occasionally, but then getting back on the horse. There are plenty of people out there that aren't even attempting to shift, don't want to shift. And we are triggering them like crazy at the moment. So March is also going to be a month where that happens more. So let's look at what we can do with regards to that. And I guess the guidance is in the card, isn't it? To be like the she-wolf or the he-wolf, to be unfettered and free. To Archangel Michael's energy here about the warrior, about standing proud now. Doesn't that make sense? To stand sovereign. It's to just do you. I know I keep saying that in videos, but it's so true. To just do you. And pity is a sort of lower vibrational quality that we don't really want to put onto others. But I'm trying to think of another word that is maybe slightly nicer. But I must admit, sometimes when people come at me and really try and bring me down, there is a sense I'm thinking, I pity you. I pity that you're doing that because I wouldn't want to be where you are. I honour where you are. I honour where you are. I honour the fact you don't want to shift. I honour the fact that you want to point your fingers and judge and blame and project. But I pity you that you want to stay in that, because it's so much better if you can try to raise your frequency in your vibration and be better than that. Because we've all been that. We've all been in that energy. But we don't want to go back to it, and we're not going to be going back to it. So these are very, very powerful days. Anything else to say with regards to being unfettered and free? Well, we had this card, didn't we? Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Yeah, you're basically just being assured that if you take this quantum leap, you are going to land on your 2 feet, okay? You're going to be okay, but it's going to bring in great rewards. Like the apple on the tree, it might not be immediate. It might not be in March that the reward immediately comes, but very bountiful fruit to come, a good harvest to come. And it's as though the best harvest comes by you being uniquely yourself, not following the crowd, for the crowd are lost. Being uniquely who you are and what you were meant to be. You're meant to break the mold a little bit. We're in such extraordinary times where fortune is favouring the brave. And there may very well be examples this month where you're offered things to do or opportunities come in, and you can feel your shadow side straight away coming up, wanting to sort of say, no, I don't think I can do that. But step into this aspect instead, this more free-spirited, wild part of you that says, yeah, what the hell? It might just lead to this. And indeed, I think it is going to lead to this. Because why would it not? In a universe that actually loves me, a universe that is actually abundant, and with the tribe behind me, my tribe, my people. I know there's plenty of other people out there who maybe can't stand me. I'm talking about all of us here, not just me, okay? It's true though, isn't it? The more that we take a step away from the crowd and the mainstream and do something a bit different or something that's new, what's that saying? First they laugh at you, then they ridicule you, then they try and put you down, then they eventually agree with you or something and get on board. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. So it feels to me a very, very positive month. Let's end with one of Bracca's cards again. Okay, let's see. What is the end message, please? Yeah, perfect. Wait, watch. Oh God, sorry. Wait. So professional, my videos. But it's just me. I'm being uniquely me. I couldn't be any other way. I couldn't be one of these people that come on in a very professional studio setup with the light here, the light there, action. No, I'm just me sitting in my room. Surprised Bella hasn't barked. She hasn't barked in a while. She's probably sound asleep. But anyway, let's get to this. Wait, watch, you will know when. Go back to the runner about to run the marathon. Go back to the person about to do the long jump. You're ready. You will know when it's your turn this month. You'll just know. You're going to know when it's the time to leap. And leap you will, okay? And you're going to find that you can leap higher and faster and further than you thought you could. Okay? So you can't force this. It's just a natural rhythm that seems to be coming in this month. It's exciting. It's exciting. Anything else to say on that? Wait, watch, you will know when. Wait, watch, when. Okay, I'm hearing another W. Wait, watch, when. I'm also hearing why. You don't need to know the reasons why. In terms of if you're given an opportunity to jump and do it, whatever the hell that means, and that can also just mean shifting mindset. It doesn't have to be a big thing in terms of I'm suddenly going to move house, move relationship, any of that. It can just be a shift in mindset, but it's a big quantum leap. It's you evolving and changing in some way. You don't need to always know the whys and wherefores because your heart is telling you. Your heart is telling you. It's a feeling, it's a sense. The mind is going to go, hold on a minute, but hold on, but what about X, Y, Z? For this month, just try to go more into the heart. I mean, don't be totally ridiculous and switch off the mind completely, but you're not going to have all the answers is what I'm trying to say before you jump. That's the big mystery. That's the big surprise. But what you are guaranteed is you will land on your feet. I hope that helps, my friends. I'm going to get this uploaded now, and then I will come back and try and get another video done in the next couple of days. Take great care of yourself. Have a good March. Have a good March. I'm just wondering if there's an animal that would like to come in at this point, and I'm sure there is. Okay, the animal deck that I've found, which I have to hand, is the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. So let's just end this video with an animal to inspire us, guide us, teach us this March. Let's see what wants to come through. So, which animal in particular wants to come through this much? You can't make this stuff up. Wow, how powerful is that? I didn't even know this was in the deck. The bull. What was I saying earlier about the bull? The bull. Okay. It actually says sacrifice. Interesting choice of word. Let's just have a little look at what the book says. My gut feel is it's linked into taking this leap and what we have to sacrifice in order to do so. We always have to let go of something. We had the card of conclusion, something ending. For something new to begin, something has to end. It says let me just put the card up, it's so powerful. All worthwhile things mean we must sacrifice something. Martyrdom is rarely a good choice. It's good to trust your tribe, have faith that all will be well. Reciprocity and offering to something bigger than you is a powerful act. Yeah, it's about we're being driven on to something bigger than we've known, bigger than we are. It's about saying yes. Yeah, I don't want to go too much more into the energy of sacrifice here, other than to say it's about letting go of something to achieve the new. It's the old version of yourself. It's also maybe letting go of the crowd, letting go of other people's opinions, other people's demands that you be a certain way. It's about following your heart. It's about something bigger than yourself, than that you can see, that is guiding you on. And ultimately, that's the energy of the heart, which is huge and expansive and wise. And your heart isn't going to let you down. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now then. Take great care. See you again soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye.